I am the Commissar, that's my name. Forged alliance forever, that's the game. And who have we got with a claim to fame? Kissing under the mistletoe to ring in the new year. We have a high level 1v1 ladder match. Both players above 2000 rated, so you're going to see only the top tier level play. Let's go on and meet the players. In the blue corner, we will start with Pavor, who is 2018 rated, and he's playing Cybran. And his opponent up here, oh, that was interesting camera work there. We have Lunyshko, who is 2148 rated, also playing Cybran. Now the map is called Horizons. I've never played on this map, but it looks pretty interesting. We've got a contestable expansion here, easily attacked down here, and a slightly more protected expansion here, protected by this cliff face. We've got a couple of only accessible by drop or edge build mexes on these plateaus here and here, and we've got wrecks here, here, lots of wrecks scattered everywhere. Those look like T3 units to me. Could that be a brick, or is that a... or is that actually a energy storage? That looks more like a brick. Either way, lots of tasty wrecks for our players to reclaim. And I say, I haven't played it. That's not surprising, because I haven't played 1v1 ladder for a long time. I should probably do more of that. We all should probably do more of that. Increase our own personal skills rather than relying on teammates to come and save us, which I'm sure we've all been guilty of every now and then. We're seeing our first action out on the field now. Little mantis scuttling forward there. But we haven't... There's our first mantis now coming out from Lunyshko, so a little faster on the aggression from Pavor, who's already got his second mantis out, with a scout heading out this way. Is that a bit too early? I mean, I'm always quite greedy at the start and build a big heap of engineers before even starting on aggressive units, but this mantis is going to be here long before any engineers get there, and you would probably expect that if you were Pavor, given that this engineer hasn't even got out to this slope yet. Lunyshko sending his mantis scout pairs more directly through the middle, though this scout is nice, seeing if there's any sneaky raid coming around here. I also don't like the fact that the scout was so far ahead of the mantis, meant that the scout here just got picked off. But these mantis just run past each other, and then this mantis picks off that scout, so... Don't know what happened there, though also these are players far higher rated than I, and they're probably busy with shenanigans elsewhere. This looks like the first important, if you will, kill. I guess the scout kills are important if you're the scout, but we're not. We are watching from above as this mantis here takes out an NG. Mantis fighting there. Little skirmish. Looks like it might be forming up here. But this mantis, it lost its scout earlier, as we saw, and it looks like it's going to miss this NG. You can see the mechs. Is it going to stop to kill the mechs? Yes, it is. But it doesn't know about the NG that's over here, and so that NG is likely to survive. Meanwhile, this mantis has gone on round the back of Lunyshko's base and picks up a second NG, so we're getting some good work here from Pavor in killing early NGs. This NG could be at risk, as it's just going forward into no fewer than 2 mantis, and there's only 1 mantis to support. Pavor's Crom is coming up behind it, but it's not going to be in time to save this fella here. And this mantis is now parked here and is shooting up the back mexes that Lunyshko has built. Now they see this NG, and this pair of mantis will pick it off. So it's looking like these side areas are going to be harder for either player to claim and keep, because they're so easy to raid from both sides. And just as we speak of that, here comes Pavor with a bunch of dudes to defend from this force of Lunyshkos. These mantis are just running past each other, and that mantis isn't planning to stop, and so he's left this fellow alive. I think he was counting on killing that, because that energy's coming out to reload here, not realizing there's still a mantis right there. Quick look at production. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 land factories and an air factory for Pavor, and we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 factories up for Lunyshko, so Pavor has the better production as things stand. Eco is very even, so the raiding has evened out both ways. But this mantis is focusing that mex, and so it doesn't see the NG, and the NG reclaims it, and the NG gets off a reclaim on a mantis. Sometimes you see NGs reclaiming labs, sure, but you don't often see them reclaiming on a mantis. MVP to this little Cybran NG. Let's call him Alfred. I'm going to call this NG Alfred. MVP to Alfred. Victoria Cross for him. Or whatever medal is the equivalent for bravery in your country. A little gaggle of mantis comes pushing in down here, but they're just running straight into the comm of Pavor, and they're going to die. Pavor has more units on this side, and that makes me feel he could get some things done. He's got units here to beat those units. He's got a big mass over here. So that could be nice. A couple more mantis from Lunyshko have snuck around the back, but they're focusing on the mechs again, and so these mantis from Pavor should be able to deal the damage. That gaggle of troops we mentioned from Pavor is getting work done, and I feel there's enough to do a little bit more pushing in here. Com for Lunyshko in the middle and coming forward. He is still naked, so is Pavor. Just the way you like to have a New Year's party, am I right? That said, I rang in the new year, not having a debauched party, but playing Deep Rock Galactic with my friend and fellow caster Tufty Indigo, whose channel you should watch. After watching mine, of course. Anyway, here comes Lunyshko down through the middle. And he's now massed enough units to make Pavor have second thoughts about pushing. Lunyshko is dropping NGs out here, and I don't know what he plans to do with them, because there isn't a great deal of reclaim left to pick up, and Pavor has decent forces, and okay, Lunyshko doesn't know about them, but he wouldn't expect to know about them. He hasn't had a chance to build radars there, and none of those engineers picked... Oh, okay, so this engineer is going for reclaim. This engineer is also... But Pavor definitely knows about them and has the units coming to deal with them. So I don't know whether that was super worth it for Lunyshko. And this bug is weird. I'm not sure what triggers it, but sometimes you get the queue of a factory popping up down here, and the only way that I found to clear that is to go to one of the players, select one of their factories, click off, and go to Observer. Any devs watching my stream, what's going on there? I would say tell me in the comments below, but I would prefer it if it were just not happening. So there is that to watch out for. Anybody else found that quotation marks feature? Meanwhile, what have we got going down on the actual map? A couple of mantis sneaking around here, lots of little sneaky raids, all very Cybran. If I were Guile, I'd be complaining about that, but I actually don't hate the Cybrans. In fact, I'd say that Cybran and Seraphim are about tied as my favourite races to play. Good force from Lunyshko coming around the top here. Lunyshko also getting gun on his comm while Pavor still naked. And I think, and these guys are causing Pavor to pull troops this way. Could Lunyshko have waited a bit so that while those guys came across, then his comm pushed down the middle? He could have, but also, yeah, I think he definitely could have, because these aren't going to get anywhere. They're just all going to die to Pavor's troops. We do have rhinos on the field now for Lunyshko, and they're up front. And while Pavor does have a T2 factory, he's only just getting his first rhinos out now. And there's already a couple up front for Lunyshko. That said, this force, rather than coming back to fight Lunyshko, is going on this way, and it could certainly get a lot of work done if it just went up and around the top. Another force going around the other side from Pavor, so I like this. Multi-pronged attacks force the enemy to pay attention to multiple fronts at once, and... ooh, that's a bit of pain. The Mantis are assisting Pavor to get his gun upgrade, but this T1 bomber from Lunyshko is spotting them all ganged up and is getting a delicious amount of area of effect damage. Meanwhile, Pavor is under pressure here as Lunyshko pushes in with his comm and with those rhinos, and that's quite a lot, and I don't know whether Pavor has enough to stop it, but they say that the best defense is a good offense, and rather than bring his comm back to fight this force, Pavor is pushing in up this side and pushing these units up around here while retreating to defend here, massing further back, and his own rhinos come out both here and here. I would be sending these rhinos here. I think he needs them to stop that. This raid is being bombed and there are already rhinos here to stop it, so I don't think that's going to get anything done. So, but that leaves space open here for Pavor to push in. I enjoy a bit of aggressive play, and a few more tanks have snuck past here, but there are rhinos massing up here and waiting, so I don't think they're going to get much more done. Realising this, Pavor pulls it back and just goes to pick off a couple of mexes. Pavor's comm now very alone up here. There is a PD there, and his tanks are separated from him. He can take the PD, but he might get cut off and he might get bombed. He's also mounting a defense against Lunyshko's push down here, but Lunyshko just has so much more. And I think that looks like, yeah, Pavor is planning a little bit of a retreat. And this counter to the raid has just pushed on and has become a raid of its own, and that's looking quite formidable. There's 2 rhinos in there and a decent heap of T1, and there's nothing really that Pavor has to stop it. This could get a huge sweep of damage done. Meanwhile, rather than push into where Pavor is defending, Lunyshko is coming across the middle and trying to sideswipe this little expansion of Pavor's, and Pavor is bringing his comm back to join the fight. He's bringing units up here. He could also bring these up here to try and sandwich Lunyshko, but he obviously hasn't got the APM for that because he's also worrying about this. And look at the damage that we've got here from this raid of Lunyshko's, and it could be about to do some more. There's T2 mexes here it could possibly claim. But Pavor has gone for T2 air and is defending with Corsairs. Corsairs are very nice against spam thanks to the wide area of spread fire that they do. Couple of mantis sneaking around the back, but it doesn't feel as much of a threat as this, which has killed 1 T2 mex. However, a horde of spam is able to overwhelm the force and stop it killing any more T2 mexes or any more mexes of any sort. Only T1 air out still from Lunyshko, who hasn't upgraded any of his air factories as far as I can see. But they're getting a bit of work done over here. And there are only a couple of T1As in here. He's relying mainly on interceptors to defend, but they are defending and the bombers go down. But in all this, there were some rhinos creeping past here. I love all this sneaky Cybran play. And these three mantis, despite being just three mantis, have managed to kill a decent swathe of mexes across the back. Lunyshko does have the eco advantage though. He's 20 eco ahead, which at this early stage, when we're still not yet at 100 eco per player, is quite a bit. 15 eco ahead now. Forces massing up here, and it feels like Lunyshko just has slightly more than Pavor. Pavor sees this, but what can he do about it? Does he still have any of those Corsairs floating around? He's got a gunship out, and that would easily kill those, assuming he could defend from the air. Who has the air advantage? 27 and 44 for Lunyshko. So if Lunyshko chooses to send his air in to kill those gunships, he'll easily win it. But right now, all eyes are going to be on this fight, where we have Lunyshko and Pavor head to head, both with gun comms, both with spam. Rhinos on each side. And we can see on the minimap there that the Corsairs are defending against that Rhino attack. And Pavor brings in his gunships, but there is flak in there, as Lunyshko definitely knows that the superior air tech belongs to Pavor, and so he just neutralized it with a couple of flaks. And Pavor is losing a lot. He's getting spam in there, but he is losing a lot. He surrounds Lunyshko's army, which is nice, and these rhinos need to push in. His gun comm is getting work done. I'm sure he's got overcharge. Has he got overcharge? He does, but he's not generating an awful lot of excess power, so he's not overcharging very frequently. And since this combat is happening in Pavor's area, he had a point defense, but with his own overcharge, Lunyshko is just blapping it out. And we've also got combat massing up there on the left. This is a lot of reclaim though, look at that, that's 5,000 or 6,000 reclaim that Pavor is already sensibly getting his hands on, but on the minimap I see a combat up there, so let's go to split screen. Here on the left, Lunyshko is getting a good engage against Pavor, because Pavor is at a bad angle, and so Lunyshko is able to engage it all at once. Here on the right, Pavor is beginning to reclaim some ground. He's getting more of his rhinos in there, and his comm has been doing excellent work. Though overall, Lunyshko's comm could more early on the other side, but look at this. There's not enough T2 to stop all those rhinos in there, and Lunyshko has been showing excellent positioning. He's going to get some good work done there, but what's going on here? This force is moving across to the side. The comms are fighting. This force is still holding back. I guess that Pavor must be microing somewhere else, because I feel that this one needs to come in over here though and rejoin the fight. This sort is getting some damage done on the left, and this expansion, which is the one I said I thought was going to be safer, has been eaten up. On the right, in comes Pavor with a reasonably significant force, and he is pushing Lunyshko back. Lunyshko, who's getting a line of fire beaters. What are we going to see with these fire beaters? I hope it's going to be something fun. This force has stopped its push, and Pavor is massing units against it, but he's not massing them quickly enough, and they come in again. Over here, the fight on the right is again engaging, and we now have T3 on the field for Lunyshko, who has brought a couple of loyalists into the fray and whose first brick is coming up. We do have T3 production from Pavor, who has given us a brick, but that is still some way from the front. Raiding deeper, this left-hand push from Lunyshko gets in and gets another mex. Pavor's comm is actually looking quite damaged there as he boldly fights from the front. Sure, it's brave, but is it foolish? We're going to find out. At half health, whereas Lunyshko is at full health. That brick comes up. I didn't even see what happened to the fire breaches, and we had a little push coming around here, but this raid is now retreating, having got damage done. It doesn't want to fight the bricks, and I think that's wise. So as this comm again bravely charges forward, let's return to single screen. Here we go, as again Lunyshko comes forward, and with that undamaged comm versus Pavor's comm at only 3,800 health, I would be very, very careful if I were Pavor, and I would be putting as much eco as I could into churning out bricks, massing them, and bringing them forward. And Pavor wisely retreats a little bit with his comm. Meanwhile, Lunyshko on this side is just playing defensive. He's put up Cerberus turrets in the hope that they might tickle something to death, and oh look, they have. They've tickled a little mantis to death. Is being tickled to death an enjoyable way to go? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. But holy cow, look at that eco. 137 to 87. That is a 50 eco lead for Lunyshko, and what can he turn it into? And with these little T1 turrets and Cerberus up here, this next attempted raid round the top from Pavor is going to be crushed. Big push coming down the middle from Lunyshko. There are now 4 bricks in there as well, and it's supported by T1 bomber fire against only 2 bricks and a smaller force from Pavor. Pavor is still damaged, Lunyshko is not. And this feels like sad times for Pavor. He's got a couple of gunships in there, but there's enough flak that I don't think they would have any success if they were brought into this fight. T1 bombers continue to do their work, and these engineers that were just happily reclaiming are utterly eaten up by those bombers. Pavor brings his interceptors to fight. Looks like it's going to be a nice plan, but knowing that there were gunships against him, Lunyshko has built a flak here, and the 3 gunships that trickle in all just die. Poor little gunships, what a waste. Because both sides have the ability to build mobile stealth, it's hard for them to know exactly how much is against them, and we can see that Lunyshko could have done a bit more damage coming down here. But of course Lunyshko does not know that. He's playing it safe, which is wise. And he's now putting up a fire base to fall back to with shields and point defences, and I think he'll be able to guard that area long enough his comm falls back a bit. And look at this, we've got a brick being dropped right at the back, and Pavor sees it and he flies inties across, but the brick is down there and could do damage. Another T1 raid from Pavor going around the right, and this one, knowing that there's turrets here, has just gone all the way up here. We could get this mex, we could come around here and get this next, we'll see whether it pays off. But this brick, these mexes are now all T2, one of them goes down, the gunships come to counter it. We'll see if that brick gets a second T2 mex. But we also got to keep our eye on there. The brick does get a second T2 mex, and that might get still more done. Pavor comes forward, but that's a lot of bricks, and they are targeting Pavor. Pavor, my dude, you need to retreat. He's on 5 vets, and he's got the gun, sure, but he hasn't got the stealth or the nano. And that brick's killed a third T2 mech, while more units just run down through the middle. And while there is a brick to stop them here from Pavor, it's not... well, it's not stopping them. We did get a mech killed up here when these guys go on, which we'll talk about that earlier, but look at this. A line of bricks, a line of Cybran, and Pavor goes down into the red. 1,500 hit points. Pavor, my dude, you are not looking the healthiest at the moment, and you need to fall back. But rather than push your advantage, Lunyshko consolidates. And look, that brick got 5 T2 mexes there. That was pretty brutal, and these guys have also got some T2 mexes to kill. And things are not looking super rosy for Pavor at this stage. And Lunyshko has dropped another brick here into the middle, and he has taken out these mexes. This is feeling brutal, and look at that. Lunyshko now has double Pavor's eco. These gunships will probably handle this, but... and that's yet another... that's a pair of bricks I see coming in. Ah, Pavor must be bricking himself. Haha, what a pun. You're laughing. I know it. And so just as this T2 push lands, these T3 bricks are dropped straight into the middle, and it looks like as the attempt to stop it by Pavor is just crushed by Lunyshko's superior air. So Lunyshko has air control, he has eco control. My dudes, Lunyshko just has everything, doesn't he? Stealth and nano going onto Pavor's comm, and he needs it. These bricks are killed by the multiple bricks that were coming forward from Pavor, but things feel bleak for him. Why don't you tell me in the comments below whether you think Pavor is going to be able to make a comeback, or whether things are just too poor and Lunyshko's position is too delicious. I use that word a lot. I like it. Maybe it's just because I'm so delicious. Don't tell me in the comments below what you think about that. And going straight for nano after the stealth, that is pretty wise. But he's locked in position, and these bricks are coming closer, but he has stealth, and Lunyshko does not see him. These bricks, all they have to do is push forward, and boom, Pavor's dead, and the game is won. But they don't see him, and so they are not doing that, and so Pavor has a slight reprieve, and he's completed the nano. He could just walk away, and I think he should, leaving these bricks to herd away the bricks of Lunyshko. But he could also stop them and engage them from the side, as we saw that nice side engage there. But more bricks are coming down the middle. And though there is a gunship response, the gunship response seems to be focusing on the transport, and with the undoubted air complete dominance, Lunyshko kills off those gunships. Decent horde of bricks though from Pavor returning up here when they will force those back. A lot of turrets for them to face down, but they're bricks, they should be able to manage a few surplus. Meanwhile, Pavor has regened back up into the green with the help of that nano. He's now got 17,000 hits on his comm out of a possible 20k, so he's looking pretty tough. And Lunyshko agrees, and his bricks fall back. Meanwhile, bricks have come up the side from Pavor trying to repay the favour, and Lunyshko defends with a bunch of T1 bombers. And they do kill the brick before it gets too much done. 209 to 93, that's horrific if you're Pavor. And this army is just so much bigger than this, but the gun nano comm with 5 vets might make all the difference, and he is being brave about it. However, Lunyshko thinks that there's a fine line between braveness and foolhardiness, and attempts to punish Pavor for it, and that is a lot of brickery. And immediately Pavor down to half health and still falling. Again, Lunyshko I feel could have pushed there, but he's obviously vastly better than I am, and he has his reasons for what he's doing. Pavor going for a little brick raid up the left-hand side. But these bricks don't join in, and Lunyshko has more bricks and turrets, so I don't think that's going to get anywhere, and he also has T1 bombers, to which, as yet, Pavor has no answer. These gunships sneak in and rely on just getting in and getting out, but they're flying straight towards the inties, and after killing one T1 mechs, they are summarily dismissed. Quick look in the bases to see what we have tech-wise. Well, we've got T3 Air online for Lunyshko now, who has some ASFs pootling around over here. And again, Pavor's comm under threat from a superior force of bricks. Do we have T3 Air for Pavor? We do not. So he's gonna double down on the air, Lunyshko. Are we going to see some air to ground, given that he has such obvious air superiority? Don't see anything queued up there yet. We'll have to come back to that later. So what we do see is an awful lot of transports there. Are we going to see a rather more, what's the word I'm looking for here, coordinated brick drop than the dribs and drabs we've seen raiding earlier? Meanwhile, we've got a slight lull in the combat here. Why don't you go down in the comments below and tell me who you think is going to win? As always, I won't know if you cheat and go to the end to see who wins, but you will. Stay honourable. And speaking of drops, we are seeing a drop, but this is just a bunch of engineers. There's a lot of reclaim out here from these two bricks that came in there, and Lunyshko wants to grab it. Pavor has definitely seen those ASFs, so he knows that there is a risk of T3 air to ground. But I'm still not seeing any coming out from Lunyshko. And the battle lines have been drawn, but the battle lines have been drawn up here in the eco, and Lunyshko is stomping still on that front. Look at total mass. Actually, I say look at total mass because I'm not sure how he's only 40k ahead. What's the reclaim look like? Well, there you go. There's the reason, because Pavor has 35k more reclaim than Lunyshko does, and so that's kept him in the fight. Because remember, there was that huge fight here. Look at that. He's eaten it all with this gaggle of engineers. He's hoovered up just so much. I remember back when Blackheart was the top player of FAF, maybe 15 years ago now. And it was, I remember that the thing he discovered to do, how to do first, was use engineers for reclaim everywhere. While nobody else had really learnt that, he was the undisputed king. Haven't seen him for a while. I wonder what happened to him. I say for a while, I'm talking like for a decade. Spoilers, I've been playing this game a lot longer than I've been casting it, and so you wonder how am I still only like 800 rated, because I haven't been playing it very well, that's how. And now we see some air to ground. I see a strat bomber coming out, but meanwhile we've got a push coming down the left, and what? Okay, I have no idea why we just have a horde of Sky Summer T1 anti-air tanks being built there for Pavor. Pavor, if you're watching this, tell me please, why the Sky Summers? I just don't get it. So, bricks coming down here, and it feels like these bricks need to come across and help defend. Maybe Pavor's comm needs to come across and help defend. But as things stand, there's quite a lot here. Meanwhile, we've got a monkey half built from Lunyshko. We've got a monkey started for Pavor, but Lunyshko's is further along, as you'd expect, given his eco. fight begins here, and it again feels like, oh, good positioning there from Pavor, able to catch these bricks and outgun them, but I don't think that's going to last if these fellows come down here, and these bricks have remained over here and need to push across. Easy for us to say, because of course there's a stealth field there. Pavor hasn't a clue that this force is coming in. Well, now he knows, because his bomber just got shut down. But that's excellent use of the Cybran stealth from Lunyshko, and now Pavor knows, and he's bringing it across. And the monkey finishes and comes forward. Don't know why Pavor is still building gunships when he knows that there are ASFs on the other side, and he does not have T3 air, and nor does he even go for T3 air. He is massing transports though, so maybe he's got a sneaky plan. We're gonna find out. These two strats, with their stealth fields up, come down and they get bombing, and that is some delicious strat damage from those revenants. I could have done a second pass and come back and hit that pretty hard. As it is, it just fires over the anti-air, so that might have been a mistake. But there's another strat over here, absolutely doubling down on the strap there, and you can see why. I think I just saw some T3 anti-air fire. Yes, I did. There's a bouncer, and that's where it's coming from. Pavor comes forward, whereas we now have a very wise retreat by Lunyshko's comm, who doesn't need to risk it on the front line. And Lunyshko has queued up a mega while Pavor's monkey comes forward. The monkey from Lunyshko is coming in unsupported down here. I'm not so fond of that. I think it could have come here and then smacked the living daylights out of these fellows. And it does open up, but because does Pavor know about it? Pavor only knows what about that, and perhaps he hasn't spotted it yet. He hasn't spotted it because he's got engineers just walking straight into it, and his own monkey is over here. Lunyshko starts the mega while Pavor is building a second monkey, so the second monkey will finish faster, but the mega will do a lot more damage. Nobody wants to see a monkey with a case of crabs. Meanwhile, that little gaggle of Sky Sammers is being shot by bricks. I really don't get this Sky Sammer production over here. What's it for? Lunyshko's monkey has withdrawn, and perhaps it's waiting for the mega, which is something I would do. The monkey has its stealth field, it can stop the mega being seen, and with his undisputed air superiority, his complete air dominance, Lunyshko can just kill any scouts that come over before they see it. So perhaps that's what we've got coming down here, and those Sky Sammers are just dying. Come on, these guys with their stealth field can come around here. Second monkey up for Pavor. And these bricks with their stealth, which Pavor can't see, well, now he can see when he gets a scout plane over them, but which until then Pavor couldn't see. I'm just eating things up here. There's 3 T2 mexes they could easily kill because there's only one brick to stop them. But they're not pushing. We need to see some more action. That scout sees the comm of Lunyshko, which could be important. Second monkey is where? Is over here. Is he trying to get some sneaky done with that? Well, the first monkey comes over here, and the third monkey is on the way, and the mega is still only half done. So that could be critical for Pavor if he can get these monkeys in and doing damage before Lunyshko can get the mega out. Because look at the eco, that's just so painful to see. That's what, 160 mass lead. We're talking like 60% more than Pavor has. That's horrific. If you're Pavor, it's delicious if you're Lunyshko. And that looks like the mega finishing, so it's now all or nothing time for Pavor. But what do I see here? I see a heap of bricks, including a deceiver there, on these transports, and they launch. Where are they going? But that scout could be their death knell if it sees them. Let's see what Lunyshko can see. He sees the monkey. He sees the transports. He sees it. Oh, nice one, says Lunyshko. He knows it's coming. Pavor accepts that he's been seen. He flies these boys away, and out come the ASFs. Out come the strats. Oh, but look at this. This is a great play. He's queued them up to come round here, the transports, while the monkey comes over here. And the strats, guarded by the ASFs, are raining fire down on the monkey as it pushes forward. Meanwhile, the Mega and monkey of Lunyshko push in through the middle. But while the air is engaged over here, this stealth drop is going up and around the top, and Lunyshko, thanks to the stealth, cannot see it. And a couple of transports come over here, and Lunyshko kills them. Perhaps that was intended to make Lunyshko think he'd shut the transports down. Meanwhile, the monkey and the Mega are just charging through the middle, and there's a monkey here, and a couple of bricks. But that's not going to stop this, not by a long shot. However, does Lunyshko see? He still doesn't see this coming in. "Can you kill my little sniper?" exclaims Pavor. Well, can he? Does he know about it? The Mega's gone off this way as a huge force pushes down here. But what's Lunyshko's seen it. He's surprised. He's running. That monkey is nearly finished, but is it going to finish in time? The ASFs come in and they shoot down the transports, but the bricks are firing. Lunyshko down into the red. That monkey is finished, and the monkey is able to defend, but it's too late, and Lunyshko explodes. A ridiculously clutch save from Pavor, who was lagging behind in eco the whole game. We didn't even look at this over here, where he was pushing up the side with that monkey, because we had so much else to look at. That was a clutch finish and a half. Tell me in the comments below whether you think Lunyshko could have countered that. Like, did he just need an Omni somewhere? Would that have saved him? Tell me what you think. While you're down there, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey. I am TheCommissar, and I will see you next time.